Hi, I'm MoonPausin from RuneScape, and you're watching the MoonPausin channel. I need people to join my clan. You have to join my clan. I want you to join my clan. All that's left to do now is make the planks into frames. Take out the logs, process them into planks. Oh, that's 6 XP a pop. Ooh. Ooh, now that's nice. That is nice. All right, that's one inventory done. Level 48 construction. Can you believe it? Chef's Delight Barrel, Oak Treasure Chest, Symbol of Saradomin, Symbol of Guffix, Symbol of Zamorak. What? We're moving up so fast. And I think we can finally make that command center. Yes, we can. First house of the day? Hype? 49 construction. Let's freaking get it. What do we get? What do we get? Treasure Hunt Fairy House, Wooden Torches, Chapel Wind Chimes, Small Chapel Statue, Shuttered Chapel Window. What? Oh, we did it. Oh my god, we did it. Civ, you got a house now, Civ. Look at that, huh? All right, how about we start that quest up? Greetings, Your Grace. Talk about quests. Talk about murder on the border. Your Grace, we've received an urgent request from the king. Aha, murder on the border. Speak to Aster in the Fort Fornfree Town Hall. Fort Fornfree number 2. Got all the requirements, which is building all the buildings and doing new foundations. Hide items. 6 stone wall segments, 12 willow frames to build first tier of kitchen. You will need to fight, not necessarily vanquish, one enemy that scales to your combat level. They're not weak to specific combat style. Length medium. Rewards. Quest point, construction XP lamp, prismatic XP lamp, and ability to build all 3 tiers of the Fort Fornfree kitchen. Accept. If the request is from King Rold, it must be important. Indeed it is. Alas, I must warn you, the nature of this request may be distressing. What is it? King Rold requests we host a banquet at Fort Fornfree to commemorate your appointment as Duke. The royal family will be in attendance, as well as select members of nobility. That doesn't sound particularly distressing. Pardon me, Your Grace, but have you met the other dukes and duchesses, the Misfalinian nobility? Or the queen, for that matter? Why do we need to throw a dinner party for the king again? It is customary for all newly appointed nobles of your station to do so. Still, the political machinations of the nobility are not a matter to be taken lightly. Be prepared for backstabbing, betrayal, underhanded deals, and a plethora of sarcastic jabs and passive-aggressive remarks. I'll bear that in mind. Can't deny the appeal. The thrill of political intrigue, seduction, ambition, and scandal does pique my interest. It's the backdrop of volumes 12 through 17 of Murder on Ardoyne, the best mystery series in Gielinor, I'll have you know. Hopefully our soiree involves less bloodshed than the one in volume 14. I'm sure it'll be fine. With your leadership, I'm confident in Chell. There are several preparations that must be made in order for us to accommodate a banquet of this magnitude. We'll need to construct a kitchen for the fort, recruit a building manager, and gather supplies. Speak with Bill. I believe he has plans for a kitchen extension to the town hall. I shall look into recruiting a building manager for the new kitchen and direct our staff to gather produce from the local area. Speak to Bill then. He should be at the workshop as usual. Alright, Bill. Let me know about that kitchen, Bill. What's going on with that kitchen? Hey there, mate. Oh, I mean, Your Grace. Sasser told me we need to host a party for some bigwigs coming over from the capital. Several of the kingdom's nobility will be attending, apparently, as well as the king and queen themselves. Blimey, it'll take quite the kitchen to cook a feast worthy of that lot. Luckily, I've been drawing up some blueprints for a kitchen extension to the town hall. This should be just what we need. I'll take a look at the table and see what you think. Thanks, Bill. So we need 12 willow frames and 6 stone wall segments. So we have the segments. We need 11 willow frames. Yeesh. 42 wood cutting. What do we get? Stable dugout canoe. Huh? Canoe. 43 wood cutting. Can't get any better than that, right? Can't get any better. And our wood box is full. Oh my goodness. What a peaceful skill. Just ducks and everything. And we got level 44 wood cutting. It's beautiful. Let's start on those logs, or planks. Let's get it going. Oh man, we're 1 log off 45. Oh, what? 1 log. Alright, alright. Let's head to the bank, put it all back. Alright, beautiful. Let's run back to the fort, shall we? Rest up. Used up all our energy running there. Oh my goodness. So we need to build up a kitchen, huh? Let's go make those planks, see what's going on. How many stone things do we have? 33. Okay, okay. So we will have to mine up some limestone. That's alright. That shouldn't be too bad. It's just going to be in a very scary region. That's about it. This fort's going to be friggin' amazing. This port's gonna be freaking amazing, man. I can't. Boom. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. We're almost level 50. This is gonna be amazing. Hey, level 50 construction. Let's fucking go. Level 50. Oh my god, we're moving up. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our 5th level 50. Oh my goodness. We haven't even gotten the other skills to level 40 yet. What are you doing? You playing RuneScape maybe? Alright, done with the frames. Done with the frames. So now, let's take, what, 10 segments and a bunch of frames? What does building the workshop do for me? The workshop holds all the equipment you need to work on the fort. You can process planks and stone here. Upgrade the fort, you will find building around the fort to be easier and more rewarding. With Tier 1, any experience from construction blueprints will be increased by 5%. Tier 2, we should have the resources to set up remote access to the Invention Guild's machines. 10% increased experience from construction blueprints. Tier 3 will overcharge the remote invention machine access to enhance the power capacity of your machines by 25%. You'll also earn 15% increased experience from construction. Alright, that's cool. Alright, let's build that kitchen. Boom. Oh, right there. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. And we need to get people in the clan. Level 51 construction. What do we get? Well, we got our building and carved oak wardrobe combat ring. What is this cabbage dummy? Cabbage dummy has a note from Aster attached to it. It appears to document all the benefits of adding a kitchen to your fort. At Tier 1, you will gain access to range, bank, and sink. Your knives will be sharpened and allow you to never fail cutting through spider webs. At Tier 2, you will gain access to a shop stocked with useful items for cooking. You'll have a reduced chance to burn food cooked within the kitchen by 3%. Tier 3, you'll gain access to a soup creation station. Benefiting from many workshop XP upgrades in your player-owned port. Gain 5% addiction. Dude, this kitchen's gonna be awesome. I know Fairy's method is tried and tested and true and works, right? But Hicken might be onto something here. Hold up, right? You know the sign, no shoes, no shirt, no service, right? How about no shoes, no shirt, still serviced? How about that? Let's start with that. And also, we bathe with soap. I don't know. I don't want to lie to him because I gotta play RuneScape all day, so not much time to bathe, especially with soap. Unless you mean in-game. I bathe with soap in-game, maybe you mean. I'll have to try that. I'll have to keep spamming the Discord. I'll have to keep spamming the RuneScape Discord to to maybe get some people in. Nobody seems to want to join though. I've contacted several promising candidates for the new building manager position. Might I recommend my sister Bianca? She's a highly skilled cook, having worked for the Varrock Palace in the past. She's able to arrive in time for the feast. Sounds good to me. Marvelous. Our staff have been scouring the local area for produce. There is little edible here, but we have a few options. There's poisonous hollyhock gathered from the local fauna and a large quantity of meat of dubious origin. Let's hope our guests bring additional supplies with them. Gifts of food and drink are customary, so what we have gathered thus far should suffice. I took the liberty of sending invitations ahead of time. Meet me by the front gates when you're ready to greet our guests. Let's continue with the quest. We are all prepared to start the banquet, Your Grace. I believe I hear the king's retinue approaching. They should be here in but a moment. Oh my god, it's the king and the queen and all his people. Alright, Duke MoonPausin, there you are. Welcome to Fort Thornfree, Your Majesty. Skip the pleasantries, Duke. We need to talk about the lax security along the King's Road. Our retinue were beset by cultists less than a mile from your gates. I have a feeling our retinue has now patrolled that route more times than your troops. We do not currently have any troops stationed here, Your Majesty. A fort in the wilderness with no guards? Be thankful that we brought several of our own with us. Not that it was enough to save the wine. I did warn you that such a large convoy would draw attention, my love. It is a feast rolled. Thornfree is hardly known for its bountiful harvests. If I must share my table with these people, we can at least bring the mead. Should we be concerned about these cultists targeting the banquet? Ha, I'd like to see them try. I don't believe so. They were little more than vagabonds, though they bore the mark of Zamorak. Fortunately, we did lose some of our supplies in the attack. May I ask who accompanies you this evening? This is Simon, the royal wine taster. Pleasure to meet you. And the flower of Lumbridge, Iris Roofwin, attending on behalf of Duke Horatio. I'm so excited to be here. My horoscope told me that tonight's party would be one for the history books. Not sure why you're throwing a party for books, but I bet they'll have a wonderful time. Pleasure to meet you both. Please, make your way inside. The other guests will join us shortly. And our new kitchen manager should be here any second. Oh, Bianca! Introducing our new kitchen manager and my dear sister, Bianca. Aster, it's been too long. Certainly has. How are you faring, B? Times have been difficult since I was fired from my previous job. I really put my foot in it. What happened? Let's just say there was a bit of a tumble and half the soup I had prepared for dinner ended up on Lord Muse and his wife. They were less than impressed. Welcome to Fort Fortfree. You must be Duke MoonPausin. It's an honor to make your acquaintance. It seems as though we're already behind schedule. I better get to work. In the meantime, I believe we have more guests approaching. What? More? More people? Who's this? Who's Rodney? Introducing Duke Cole Horse, Lord Rodney Midas, and Princess? Princess? Huh? Welcome to Fort Fortfree, Your Grace. Yes, I don't need to hear this spiel. Duke MoonPausin, I assume? I'm certain you already know who I am. No clue. You're the Duke of Edgeville? Indeed I am, Cole Augustus Horse. Duke of Edgeville, remember that name. Alright. Please forgive my dear fiancé. It's been a long day and his patience is wearing thin. Not that he had much to begin with. Rodney. Yes, that's my name, darling. Rodney Midas. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, MoonPausin. What a lovely little redoubt you have here. It's very homely. Bleak and dreary, more like it. Poor princess is practically cowering in fear. Happy barking. What? I suggest you join the king and queen inside the town hall. Our final arrivals should be here any moment. Ella and Rold are already here, eh? Ha! I bet they'll be overjoyed to see me, especially Ella. Duchess Alba. Introducing our final guest, Duchess Hyatt of Lumford. But it says Duchess Alba right there. Let's get through this as quickly as possible, shall we? You're Duke MoonPausin. I'm Alba Hyatt, retired knight, Duchess of Lumford. What is Lumford? Pleasure to meet you, so on and so forth. Can you kindly direct me to the wine so I can get some drinks in me before the circus arrives? You're the last to arrive, Your Grace. Our other guests are already inside. Oh, for the love of Sarah Dobin. That case, perhaps you could direct me to the nearest dragon so that I may be put out of my misery. Oh, I fear that wouldn't be in keeping with the spirit of the banquet, Your Grace. Shame. Suppose I'd best get this over with then. What the hell? Alba's great. Yeah, I can see that. I'm loving Alba so far. This is the last of our guests. Do not say I didn't warn you. Bianca and myself will prepare the feast. I advise you take this opportunity to converse with our guests. Remember, all eyes are upon us. This is our formal introduction to the Misfellinian political scene. To put it plainly, don't mess it up. Oh, I'll mess it up. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll mess it up real bad. Go talk to Alba. I heard the cook is making a hollyhock sherbet for dessert. Or sorbet. How interesting. Wait, did you say hollyhock? Isn't it incredibly poisonous? Not necessarily, darling. The plant itself is poisonous, but the roots are perfectly safe to consume when boiled. In fact, it's quite the delicacy. Supportive barking. How in Gillinor do you know that? My second wife taught me. She was a master alchemist after all. Sadly, she accidentally poisoned herself brewing mushroom tea. Sounds like quite a novice mistake for a master alchemist. She was colorblind, my dear, and couldn't tell the blue-spotted bitter caps from the green-spotted ones. It was truly tragic. So, Duke Horse will be your what? Third marriage? Oh, there were several more in between. I'm afraid I may have lost count. What? Princess, no! I'll blast it. She's run off to the kitchen. Uh-oh. This is why I'm more of a cat person. Don't all jump to stop her now. Just leave it to me, as always. It's fine. Suppose I'll come with you. I need to bring the appetizers about the chick to the kitchen. So is everyone just going to go to the kitchen? Be honest, I'm relieved that we lost some of the wine on the way here. Oh, if you're looking for the king and queen, they're above us on the balcony. This is just going swell, huh? Didn't expect to see Lord Rodney here. Your Majesty, is it true that you and he... Enough, Iris? Excuse me, I'd like to discuss the supplies you brought. Is this a bad time? Oh, the chef's here. Not at all. Please continue. Oh, it's you, Beatrice, is it? Bianca, Your Majesty. Alright, I have high expectations for the feast tonight. Don't disappoint me. Of course, please allow me to take these supplies for you to the kitchen. Alright. Very cordial. Great work, chef. What's this I hear about the king getting a special dish for his appetizer? His Majesty is unable to consume the entree Duchess Alba brought, therefore, if the king is having it, I want it as well. With extra garlic, make it happen. Pardon me, Your Grace, but the dish does not have... Don't think I'm good enough to eat the same food as the king, do ya? You know what? He's Duke too, right? Oh, he's a steward. Nah, fuck off, steward. Please allow me to fulfill his request, Your Grace. If this is what the good Duke wants, we will... Oh, come on. Please, you managed to see reason. How's the banquet coming along? The feast is ready to be served. Shall I call our guests to the table? Sure. This steward's bossing me around. I'm the Duke. I'm the Duke of Fort Fortfree, man. Thank you for inviting us to this fine fort of yours, Duke MoonPausin. Fine fort? It looks like a wayward sneeze would topple it. This is what will protect us from the dangers beyond the wall. Edgeville alone faces incursions on a weekly basis. My people need, nay, deserve far better. I'm doing the best I can with what resources I have at my disposal. I'd say they've done quite well for themselves, given our king tasked this of them, yet offered nary a stone or hammer to actually build this place. Watch yourself, Alba. No, I don't believe I will. Don't think I've forgotten what you did during the famine, how Lumford's food stores were seized by the capital while our people went hungry. I sent multiple requests to open conversation on the topic, none of which were returned. My hand was forced. I apologize profusely for not responding to the demand to surrender half of our grain stores. How dare I? They had grain stores at all speaks of the excess food Lumford hoarded while the capital starved. So, Duke MoonPausin, I heard that you're a renowned adventurer. Hey, good save, Iris. Surely you have a tale you can share with us. I have a few. Amazing! I was also quite the accomplished warrior back in my day. Queen Elimeria threw everything into her adventures, foregoing all else. She left herself no time for rest, recreation, her relationships. Don't you dare. Why is he coughing so hard? Is he sick or something? Duke Horse rises shakily to his feet, his coughing worsening. Is it the garlic? Is he allergic to garlic? Oh, I know this game. A play. 5 words? Guys, I don't think he's alright. Worried barking. You alright, dear? You're shaking. Uh-oh. Should I get him some water? I do believe he's dead. Lock down the fort now. Locking down the fort because the Duke choked on his dinner? This is madness. Look at the discoloration of his skin, the way he acted. This wasn't a natural death. No, it wasn't. I know poisoning when I see it. You seem suspiciously familiar with poison. My first husband was a mortician until he tripped and fell into the cremator. What the fuck is up with Rodney? And now the late Duke has died in equally suspicious circumstances. Are you suggesting I did this? If the Duke was indeed poisoned, the only people with access to the meal or his person are in this very room. What if the supplies were poisoned before they were brought here? Or the dessert was not prepared correctly? Each of you ate the same banquet as him, did you not? Am I gonna die? Calm down, Lady Roughwood. We have murder in our midst. Of that I am certain. Oh my god. An attack on a Duke of Mistfallen is an attack on the kingdom itself. Nobody leaves until we know who or what we're dealing with. Duke MoonPausin, this heinous act took place within your walls. You have until sunrise to discover the perpetrator's identity and see that they are dealt with. If you cannot and the fort is deemed unsafe, that could have serious consequences. Do not fail us. Who would do such a thing? Come on! You aren't above suspicion yourself. Of course, Your Grace. Still, I shall endeavor to be the best assistant I can in this investigation. Our suspects, pardon me, our guests, have disseminated throughout the fort, though it took some convincing on Rodney's part. Interrogate carries strong connotations, but I would deem some questioning appropriate given the offense that have unfolded. Additionally, there is surely evidence pertaining to the crime scattered across the grounds of the fort. Search for clues and interrogate the suspects. Got it. It is rather embarrassing, but I happen to possess a mystery journal I used to solve mysteries as a child. Perhaps it will assist us in keeping track of the various clues and information we discover. Asher hands you the mystery journal. Let's get to work. Alright, well. So you have to ask all the suspects. King rolled, Queen Elimeria, Simon Bullace, and Asher done it. And we need to find 8 clues. Okay, so let's investigate Duke Horse first. The late Duke's skin is discolored and his lips are blue and cracked. Prominent blue veins branch across the skin of his face and neck. The Duke was an unpleasant man, but he did not deserve this. We'll find out who's responsible. Oh my god, it's an assassin! I am not prepared for this. Never mind, I'm beating his ass. The new Duke is on to me. We can't let them know I poisoned the Duke. Not while our work is unfinished. Wait until they are isolated from the rest of the group and see what they are. See that they are dealt with. I'll open the gates. Remember, we need the steward alive. Remember, we need the steward alive. What do I have to do with this? And it says I'll open the gates. We should check on the guests. What happened here? I heard an ear-piercing scream and made my way out of the chapel to investigate, only to find these foul beasts running straight for me. If it hadn't been for Ella's timely intervention, I would have surely met the same fate as poor Simon here. Nothing is happening to you while I'm here, Roald. Nothing. Simon deserved better than this. Concerned barking. Such a lapse in security is unbecoming of you, Duke. Explain yourself. Were several of the King's Guard not stationed at the North Gate? They were, Your Grace. Once the beasts were incapacitated, I arrived at the North Gate to find the guards unconscious and the gates ajar. They appear to have suffered a heavy blow to the back of their head and are being monitored as we speak. Talk about the assassin. While we were discussing our findings on the roof of the town hall, Astra and myself were beset by an assassin wearing the armor of the King's Guard. There was an assassin hiding among our contingent? Damn it, such carelessness should be beneath me. They must be the one who poisoned my dear Cole. No, I don't believe that's possible. They had no access to his meal and were preoccupied fighting the Duke when the gates were opened. Ask if any guards were unaccounted for. All but one were accounted for, Your Grace. The missing guard is likely the assassin who attacked you. Asher was with me the entire time. I know they can't have opened the gate. One would hope I was never a prime suspect to begin with, though given the frequency at which stewards are responsible for such crimes in fiction, I understand the suspicion. This note we found on the assassin's body indicates that the person responsible for poisoning the Duke opened the gates. They now have the blood of 2 people on their hands. Station more of the King's Guard at the North Gate and ensure the suspects are under surveillance at all times. As your command, Your Grace. Just how long do you expect us to follow along with this charade? For at least a while longer, Duchess Hyatt. I support the Duke's call. I, for one, will be in the command center, enjoying what little peace I can. Poor Simon stood no chance against the dark beasts. This night has been a pretty interesting one, that much is certain, but my patience is wearing thin. You slew all 3 of those dark beasts by yourself? It was nothing, I assure you, merely some old tricks from my monster hunting days. They were clumsy, lumbering things, quite simple to strike down. My blade work certainly isn't what it used to be, having been dulled by years of political posturing and a lack of practice. Do you know anything about the assassin who was disguised as one of your guards? Roald and myself were just discussing this. We know not the identity of said guard, nor how they infiltrated our retinue. Mark my words, I will be having a talk with our captain of the guard when we return to the palace. That I allowed this to happen reflects as poorly on myself as the Duke's murder does on you. Don't disappoint us. Alright. Iris hands you an amulet of Spaniel speak. You can find it as a clue in your mystery journal. Alright, Princess. What do you have to say? Hello, Princess. Talking, you're talking. Please help. Father ate strange smelling meat and now he's not moving. Sad, confused. We think somebody poisoned him. I know it won't bring him back, but I'm trying to find out who did it. Why would anyone hurt Father? He gave the best treats and belly rubs and pats. I'm not sure. Don't suppose you've seen anything suspicious? Anything that could be a clue? Lots of suspicious things around. Things buried, strange smells, strange people. Show you. Lead the way. Select Princess and she will point you in the direction of a potential clue. Princess barks and points northwest. Suspicious thing here. What? Princess digs, uncovering an assortment of objects. You rummage through an assortment of ancient bones and decomposing animal parts. Treasure! Perhaps, but this treasure isn't going to help us find who hurt your father. More suspicious things over there. Come. Here. Oh my god. This is Her Majesty the Queen, Princess. Scary lady smells strange. Must be her. Must be. This is a good girl, isn't she? Reminds me of the Labrador I had as a child. Scary lady gives good pets. Nice lady. No, it can't be her. One more thing hidden. Come with me. Come. Huh? Inside the cache, you find a badge bearing the symbol of Zamorak and a sealed letter. This could be the breakthrough we've been searching for. Fine work, Princess. Yay, helpful. What in the world? An opportunity has arisen. Your target will be visiting Fort Thornfree for a banquet in a week's time. This will be the perfect moment to strike. I will assign an assassin to you, but remember, they are to be used only as a last resort. You are to eliminate the mark whilst drawing no attention to yourself or us. Do not fail me. Z. Believe we've discovered all the evidence we can. Shall I gather our guests in the courtyard? Yes, I'm ready. We are eager to hear the result of your investigation, Duke MoonPausin. Let's review the evidence. Simon's satchel seems like an appropriate place to start. How did it end up in the courtyard? Why was a page torn out of the book? Maybe it was stolen from Simon after he entered the fort. That does not align with what we uncovered. Simon claimed that when the king and queen's retinue was attacked, he lost the satchel in the commotion. Murder arrived afterwards. They could have discovered the satchel on their journey. They likely removed the page detailing how to brew poison detection potions and placed the satchel in the courtyard in an attempt to frame him. But what reason would they have to kill the Duke of Edgeville? Is the murder another of Lord Rodney's exes? Please, Lady Rufflin, let's not get ahead of ourselves. They didn't. The King Roald was their target. They knew that he would be eating a custom dish and that Simon only tested his beverages, not his meals. But they did not expect the Duke to insist on having the same dish as the King. Plates were mixed up when Aster was serving the table and the poisoned pate was served to Duke Horse by mistake. Shocked barking. And what of the assassin who infiltrated our entourage? The assassin was assigned to the murderer by their Zamorakian benefactors as a last resort should subterfuge fail. The note we found on their body read, "Remember, we need the steward alive." Why did they need me alive? They were talking about someone else maybe. Not see how that could be the case. What if the purpose of that line was to ensure that I was not harmed in the attack? But why would the murderer care for my well-being? Most importantly, why do any of this? What was their motive in committing regicide? They had a vendetta against you? It is possible that the desired outcome of their crime was not power, or to take revenge on King Roald himself, but to scorn Queen Elamaria. She cares for her husband more than anything in the world, and the Zamarakians offered the murderer a means of eliminating him. What is your conclusion then, Duke MoonPausin? Who's responsible for the murder of Duke Horse? It was Bianca! Do you honestly believe I murdered the Duke, Aster? You admitted to finding jewelry belonging to Queen Elamaria strewn along the King's Road. It stands to reason that you also discovered Simon's satchel. You know about Hollyhock and how to utilize it in your culinary work. You knew Simon merely tested the King's beverages from your time working at the palace. That the assassin was ordered not to harm me. Your soured relationship with the Queen. I don't want to believe it, Bee, but I cannot deny the evidence. Well done, Aster. You and the Duke figured it out. Those fanciful novels of yours prepared you for this, no doubt. Ask yourself, why do you let these high-born scum lord over you? You're better than this. We're better than this. Better? You murdered 2 innocent people. The Duke was yet another arrogant leech, born into power he neither earned nor deserved. Indignant barking. He cared for the lives of his people, more so than even his own. Not that you could understand, you pathetic, selfish wretch. What about poor Simon? What did he do to deserve this? I didn't plan for the beast to kill him. He did deserve better. He was a friend. But he didn't respect himself enough to better his miserable life. I do. You ungrateful, obnoxious little... Should I have sung your praises for being offered the opportunity to serve you and your new husband? You always thought you were better than me. You did deserve the throne you were handed. Enough. In planning to assassinate me, she has committed treason against the kingdom of Misfalin. No, MoonPausin, please. I know that her crimes cannot be forgiven nor forgotten, but the punishment for treason is too good for her, in my opinion. You can't risk her harming anyone else. Say the word rolled and I'll execute the sentence right here, right now. What the fuck? Alright, let's not start killing more people in my fort, please. Calm, dear. She will be sent to the capital and tried for her crimes, however certain the outcome may be. Very well. Get her out of my sight. What the hell? Fine work, Duke MoonPausin. I knew my faith in you was not misplaced. Ready to depart for the capital once you declare tonight's banquet over. Alright, it's over. It's over. Jesus. What a horrible banquet. Aster takes 2 weeks leave following the events of the banquet to reflect on all that transpired. Greetings, Your Grace. How are you feeling, Aster? Well, Your Grace, all things considered, please do not worry about me. It was wonderful to have the opportunity, but to think that Bee murdered 2 innocent people. How little I knew about her situation. Could I have prevented it getting to this point? I will miss her. But I'm more than ready to resume my managerial responsibilities here. Speaking of which, Lord Rodney would like to have a word with you. You will find him in the kitchen. Rodney? I wasn't expecting that. What's he doing here? Duke MoonPausin, it's simply marvelous to see you again, dear, under less dire circumstances, it would appear. What are you doing here? Ah, yes, well, you see, as it turns out, a spaniel is not able to legally inherit a duchy, despite Cole's wishes. Position was ultimately given to his younger sister. Suffice it to say, she did not appreciate her brother leaving the duchy to his dog over her. She never liked me much to begin with. Both Princess and myself have been banished from Edgeville until further notice. Fortunately, your darling steward graciously offered us a position here. I know a thing or two about cooking, you know. My third wife was a baker. How did she die? What? Sharon isn't dead. We parted ways very amicably. That's surprising. Well, just don't murder anyone. Hey, we did it. That took a while, huh? That was a very simple murder mystery, but we did it. You have completed Murder on the Border. You're awarded 1 quest point, Construction XP lamp with 8,000 Construction XP, Prismatic XP lamp, 3,000 XP, ability to build all 3 tiers of the Fort Thornfree kitchen. Alright, back at it once yet again. Can you believe it? This is what? Oh my goodness. Like, the 17th. Find the full streams on my Twitch.